Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
मोदी साहब बगैर परमिशन के वहां जाके नवाज शरीफ साहब को मिले, उन्होंने उनके साथ जप्फी डाली, तो क्या भाई उनको राष्ट्रभक्त नहीं मानोगे?
आपका यह व्यवहार अनुचित है कि आप अपने आप को प्रधानमंत्री के बराबर सोचे।
हम सरकार से पूछना चाहते हैं कि क्या आप पाकिस्तान के साथ दोबारा बातचीत करने के पक्ष में हैं?
Good evening and welcome to Political Exchange. Our big focus today is on the future of India-Pakistan ties. Pakistan's new Prime Minister Imran Khan today called for a dialogue with India to resolve differences. He said that the best way to alleviate poverty and uplift the people of the subcontinent is to start talking and trading. Prime Minister Modi, in his letter to Imran Khan, said India was committed to good neighbourly relations with Pakistan and pursuing constructive engagement as well. About the controversy around Sidhu's visit, sources confirm he had the clearance, the political clearance from the Ministry of External Affairs. So what is the larger picture here? Is India waiting and watching to see how much space does Imran Khan really have? Is India ready to start a dialogue, and at what level? Can we remove trade barriers as a starting point? Let's take this discussion forward. We are joined right now by former diplomat Anil Trigunath, Congress spokesperson Sanjay Jha, Narendra Taneja of the BJP. Narendra Taneja, Imran Khan in his opening speech had said that if India takes one step, Pakistan is willing to take two steps. Over the last couple of days, Imran Khan has tried to make all the right noises by saying that his focus is on trade, on boosting the Pakistani economy, removing malnourishment and having good relations with India. Is India taking this positively? Does the BJP support a dialogue with Pakistan now?
No, you see, the Prime Minister sent him a congratulatory message. Prime Minister also called him and also said that, look, we are for constructive relationship with all our neighbors, including Pakistan. But the question is that, you know, Mr. Imran Khan has just taken over. It's not even 3 days. And we have to wait and see. You see, the point is that, you know, all that he's talking about, even before he took over, he has been talking of certain things. I mean, but we need to see whether he is able or is allowed to walk his talk. You see, the important area for us is, of course, trade is one, but the important area for us is that what do they do in terms of, you know, sending terrorists, exporting terrorism, and shutting down those terror factories, you know, in Pakistan. I think, you know, he needs to kind of take action, shut down all those terror factories first, stop export of terrorism, stop targeting our you know, innocent people, civilians, and our military personnel in Jammu and Kashmir. And at the same, as he said, you know, you know, it's very easy to talk. But he has just taken, we all know there are several power centers in Pakistan, but if he really wants peace with India, he wants peace and stability
a lot of
in the
sticking
entire
points.
region, he needs to walk his talk. So we will allow him time. Let's see what if he's allowed to walk the talk.
A lot of sticking points. He needs to walk the talk on trade, on terror. Remember, 2611 masterminds, Hafiz Saeed, Zakir Rahman Lakwi, they move around freely, and one of them even tried to launch a political party. Anil Trigunath, if I can put this question to you now, there was a lot of controversy, a big political controversy over Navjot Singh Sidhu's visit to Pakistan as a private citizen, hugging General Bajwa, talking to Imran Khan. A lot of questions were being raised, but we are getting to know from the Indian government that he had the political clearance from the highest level. So the government might say that this was a private visit, we don't have anything to do with it, but do you get a sense that India, the Ministry of External Affairs and the government is observing how things are panning out, how Pakistan is reacting, how much control does Imran Khan really have?
You see, firstly, we have to congratulate Pakistan itself for ensuring that there was a democratic transition. Secondly, Prime Minister Imran Khan, even before he took over, he has been talking about talks with India, dialogue with India, and India has never shied away from any dialogue. In fact, India has gone way ahead several times, several steps have been taken, but Pakistan has been retrogressive and aggressive in its approach all the time. I mean, you remember that in December when Prime Minister just cut short and went there to Nawaz Sharif's house, that was something very out of box and which was exceptionally good gesture on our part. But it was, retaliated by Pakistan through a Pathankot and whatever. So now nothing has happened on all those major issues that are of concern to us. But I'm very happy. Another CBM that we have done is Prime Minister spoke to Imran Khan on July 30th. He has written a letter on August 18th. In both of them, we have said we want constructive engagement, because for India's progress also, it is essential that we have a quieter Pakistan, a progressive Pakistan, and virtually a prosperous Pakistan. And India has always tried to work that way with all its neighbors.
Okay.
I mean, as regards the terror is our biggest concern.
Sanjay Jha.
And if Pakistan is able to address it, and if Imran Khan...
Yeah, I'm going to come to the issue of terror as well. That's very important, that will be a priority in Indo-Pak relations. But Sanjay Jha, if I can put this question to you, Congress and BJP almost disagree on each and every issue. But do you agree with the government and the BJP on this one, that if we need to initiate a dialogue with Pakistan now, then we must see Imran Khan walking the talk on trade, on terrorism, and also on the 26/11 trial?
Parikshit, with Pakistan, we have a historical, complex bilateral relationship. There are several variables. I agree with you completely that one very critical and probably the one that will be non-negotiable from the Indian standpoint will be the violent terror attacks across Indian borders, particularly what's been happening in Jammu and Kashmir and the international borders. I think the real challenge for both our countries is that when you get an opportunity to engage with each other, I think we should look very carefully at what those options mean. Now, you have at the moment a new democratically elected government. I know there are allegations that, that Mr. Imran Khan's government had a huge backing of the Pakistan army. Having said that, if there is, however, because of that itself, I mean, if there is a military endorsement of Imran Khan's diplomatic, shall we say, initiatives with India, then it does provide a window of opportunity. Now, obviously, there is no denying that these are going to be sensitive. I think India will be correct in saying that you cannot have a dialogue if you do not dismantle the terror infrastructure. Yet, at the same time, you will, and I think you should be smart enough to anticipate that Pakistan will raise the Kashmir issue. These are things that, have been the traditional, I would say, the kind of barriers in a more open discussion. So I think this is a moment for mature political and diplomatic, shall we say, handling.
Right. Mateen Haider, we've got spokespersons of the ruling party and opposition here on the panel, and both of them agree that Pakistan must act on the issue of trade. Remember, our trade is just about $2.28 billion. That was a 2016 figure. It must have gone down even further. Imports from Pakistan are even lower. When it comes to the issue of terror, we're still awaiting movement on the 26/11 trial. Do you think the new Prime Minister will act on these issues? Because be it the opposition, be it the ruling party, it seems that their priority is making sure that terrorism from Pakistan stops.
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for definitely selecting this very interesting, very hot, and indeed very sensitive topic. So once you're talking about no trade between India and Pakistan, of course, it should be the top priority of both governments, particularly the new government in Pakistan, to definitely give boost to bilateral trade. So the bilateral trade is also definitely facing a number of hurdles. It needs to be negotiated. The traders and the business community should be facilitated. Of course, the new Prime Minister of Pakistan, through his tweet on Sidhu issue as well, and in response to the letter by the Indian Prime Minister, that letter was yesterday disclosed before the media by the new Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written a letter, and in which he has indicated or hinted at the resumption of dialogue. So it was hint, it was not a complete offer. So the way Indian media definitely played with that particular thing, it was very unfortunate. I think whatever is now we are witnessing at official level between India and Pakistan, between the two governments. Two governments looks very serious, very mature.
Okay.
And there is not a single negative word. Please let me finish. There is not a single negative word from the both New Delhi and Islamabad, from Islamabad, Mr. Khan. But Indian media is trying to destroy everything, whatever has been built in last 48 hours. On Sidhu issue, he was personal friend of Mr. Khan. He came to Islamabad and met Prime Minister Khan, attended the oath-taking ceremony. So if he was at the President's house, if he has met Pakistan's army chief, what's wrong in it? Right, so courtesy does demand that he has to definitely interact with number of guests over there. And talking of peace is not crime. This is what Sidhu says. This is what the Pakistani Prime Minister says. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, Mr. Mateen Haider, there are diplomats in India who feel that this is important, people-to-people contacts are important, but politically, Mr. Sidhu's visit has not gone down very well in India. But Mr. Tehreek-e-Insaf, if I can put this question to you, Mateen Haider, political analyst, was also talking about Imran Khan's priority as far as trade is concerned. Now, India-Pakistan trade has been very low over the last couple of years. We're yet to get the MFN status from Pakistan. The Wagah route for import of Pakistani goods is yet to be opened. So these are sticking points as far as our trade relationship is concerned. Mr. Tehreek-e-Insaf, do you feel that if Imran Khan is able to address the issue of trade, then that could give a window to Narendra Modi to start a dialogue with Pakistan?
Well, the trade is also there, but India's biggest concern has been the cross-border terrorism. And the people who are just extremists are moving around, and they have been part of the open narrative, which is what he has to control. And I think if the army is on his side, which is supposed to be backing him, then they should take care of it. And Pakistan also has suffered from them. Because as I say in our Sanskrit, this thing, the terrorist or terrorism is like Bhasmasur. It's going to burn down everyone. It's not going to leave Pakistan as well. So they have to take care of it. As far as trade is concerned, as you know, that most of our trade was not directly with Pakistan, but it has been going through Dubai and other countries. So it has been far more than $2 billion in any case. But this is, and like, for example, you mentioned about MFN status. Under the WTO rules, it is compulsory for every country to provide that status. Pakistan has not done that. If Imran Khan does it, then obviously it will be a good confidence-building measure. He has to come out on these things very clearly. I mean, I'm sure the initial statements are very positive, and they give a lot of hope at the moment. And as you know, in diplomacy, it's hope that's very important. And Prime Minister Modi has gone 2 steps ahead already in this, saying that we are ready for the constructive engagement. But then this has to be terror-free South Asia. So I'm not going back and forth on this, but it has to be a progress on all fronts. And then only things can move forward. And it is good for both the countries. That's what I feel.
All right. We'll request all our panelists, Mr. Mateen Haider, who's joining us from Pakistan, Mr. Tehreek-e-Insaf, Narendra Taneja, Sanjay Jha, to stay with us. We're taking a short break here on CNBC-TV18. When we return, we'll take this discussion forward.